some royal jewels didn't simply vanish. They slipped into silence, leaving behind mysteries no archive, no expert, and no historian has ever been able to solve. Treasures once worn by queens and empresses, captured in a handful of faded photographs, then swallowed by time itself. Diamonds that disappeared without explanation, emeralds whispered about in private vaults, tiaras seen once and never again. And the story begins with one jewel whose disappearance still unsettles the royal world. Poltimore Tiara. Some jewels vanish quietly, yet their absence continues to resonate through the royal world. Among them, the Poltimore Tiara feels especially haunting. Once a dazzling symbol of Princess Margaret's boldest years, it now lives only through scattered whispers, auction notes, and a few soft photographs that struggle to express its former brilliance. Created in 1870 by Garrard, the tiara was admired for its rare versatility. Each diamond could be rearranged into brooches, a necklace, or sparkling clusters, making it one of the most adaptable jewels ever associated with the British royal family. But it was Margaret who gave it life. She wore it at her wedding, at grand royal occasions, and in the unforgettable photograph where its diamonds glowed against a warm light, capturing her independent spirit with disarming honesty. After her passing, rising inheritance taxes forced her children into a difficult choice. In 2006, the tiara appeared at Christie's London for a final public moment. Under the bright auction lights, it sold for £920,000 to an anonymous buyer and disappeared from sight. No museum, no exhibition, only a private vault somewhere in the world, guarding a jewel that once defined a princess. And the mystery deepens, because the next missing treasure carries a silence even heavier than this one. Marie Antoinette's jewels. Some stories begin with a quiet decision, one meant to outlive danger itself. The lost jewels connected to Marie Antoinette were once more than adornments. They were her final attempt to protect something beautiful when everything around her was falling apart. At Versailles, these pieces symbolized grandeur and status. Diamonds chosen for their clarity, pearls treasured for their purity. Each one crafted to reflect the image of a queen who lived under constant scrutiny. But when unrest grew closer, she understood that the world she knew was slipping away. In a moment of rare clarity, she gathered her most precious jewels and entrusted them to Count Mercy Argenteau, the one man she believed would keep them safe. Packed inside a small chest and carried across borders, the jewels became a quiet message to the future, a way to preserve a legacy she feared she might not live to defend. She never saw them again. Her life ended, but the jewels continued on, passing through exile, war, and generations of careful guardianship. When they resurfaced in 2018 at Sotheby's Geneva, the world rediscovered a diamond bow brooch, a 3-strand pearl necklace, and a pearl pendant that sold for $36 million. Each piece felt like a soft echo from Versailles, but the next lost treasure didn't vanish in silence. It disappeared behind a love story that changed a king's destiny. The Duchess of Windsor's jewels. Some collections hold a softness that feels almost private, as if they were created to be understood only by two people. The jewels of the Duchess of Windsor belong to this quiet world. Their beauty was built not for a crown or a court, but for moments of deep affection, shaped in a life lived far from tradition. The story begins long before the world ever saw these pieces. Cartier, with its mastery of craftsmanship, became the home of designs that carried symbols of quiet devotion. The famous panther, carved with meticulous precision, reflected a woman who carried confidence with graceful restraint. Rubies were chosen for their warmth, sapphires for their depth, and diamonds for the way they caught light without demanding it. Over time, new creations joined the collection through the hands of Van Cleef & Arpels, whose mystery set technique gave the jewels a feeling of softness, almost like fabric shaped from stone. Each piece revealed a small window into a partnership defined by loyalty and an elegant sense of independence. As the years passed, their jewels moved across continents and generations, still carrying the tenderness they were born from. Yet the path ahead leads into a world where jewels survived by memory alone, preserved through whispers of a dynasty that vanished almost overnight. The Romanov jewels. Some jewels seem to hold their own silence, as if they remember the hands that once cared for them. The treasures associated with the Romanov dynasty belong to this quiet realm. Their beauty grew from a world devoted to delicacy, precision, and artistic devotion, where every gemstone was selected not for status but for the way it softened the light. The influence of Fabergé brought a signature blend of colour, texture, and movement, giving the jewels an almost lifelike warmth. They shimmered softly, like winter sunlight against crystal. As these treasures travelled into new collections, they carried with them a feeling of continuity rather than disappearance. Each necklace, brooch, or tiara became a reminder of European elegance, preserved through careful hands and quiet admiration. Yet the journey does not end here. The next collection leads into the heart of another empire, where jewels were shaped by mountains, tradition, and a legacy that unfolded across centuries. The Habsburg jewels. Some collections seem woven from the landscape that shaped them. The jewels of the Habsburg world carry the quiet grandeur of alpine valleys and old imperial halls, blending tradition, restraint, and a deep devotion to craftsmanship. Their beauty was never loud. It unfolded gently, through gemstones chosen for their purity, soft colour, and understated radiance. In the private workshops that served the family, jewellers worked with remarkable patience. They combined glowing emeralds, luminous pearls, and crisp white diamonds into designs that favoured symmetry and calm. Many pieces followed classical lines, creating a sense of balance that felt almost architectural, as if the jewels echoed the stability of an empire that valued continuity above all else. Among their most admired treasures were the elegant tiaras passed from one archduchess to the next. Their stones carried stories of weddings, coronations, and moments of quiet celebration. Even when these jewels travelled into new hands, they retained an unmistakable feeling of heritage, preserved through generations that honoured their meaning. As we follow their journey forward, the path leads toward France, where a legendary collection once illuminated royal courts before meeting a fate that changed the destiny of its treasures forever. The French crown jewels. Some treasures seem to belong not to a royal family but to history itself. The French crown jewels carried this rare presence. Their beauty grew from centuries of mastery, ceremony, and a devotion to elegance that shaped the heart of French artistry. These were jewels created to illuminate entire courts, each stone chosen for its ability to hold light like a memory. Among them were the legendary diamonds that defined European magnificence. The Regent, with its soft blue fire, became a symbol of perfect proportion. The Sancy, glowing with pale warmth, seemed to carry a stillness untouched by time. Pearls, sapphires, and rose-cut diamonds were arranged with breathtaking precision, forming designs that felt almost orchestral in their harmony. But in 1887, a quiet turning point arrived. The collection was gathered, catalogued, and prepared for a sale that would scatter its brilliance across the world. Auction halls filled with collectors who recognised not only the jewels' material worth, but their deep heritage. As each piece found a new home, it carried with it the echo of palaces, candlelit salons, and the artistry of generations. And now, as our journey draws to its final moment, these jewels invite a softer question. Which story touched your heart the most, and which treasure would you carry forward into memory? As these stories fade into silence, each jewel leaves behind more than beauty. It carries a memory, a moment, a feeling that belongs only to those who pause long enough to notice it. If one of these treasures stayed with you, let your voice be part of this journey. Share with us in the comments which jewel touched you the most and why. Your reflections help keep these legacies alive, gently carried from one heart to the next.